Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Yeah, happy Monday. I don't feel like it's Monday. Like I catch myself wondering like what day it is because I've been working all weekend. And so it doesn't feel like I had a weekend very much. And so it's Monday and the time changed. And I'm just gonna say it's throwing me off a little bit this morning. Does the time change throw you off? Let me know in the chat. Got this weird hair this morning. Let's get that under control. Um, it throws me off just a little bit. I'm not tired. I just have felt a little in the weeds with the business lately. There's just a lot happening at once right now. And so it has me feeling a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit in the weeds. There's a lot of big things happening with Framed right now. There's a big event that we're putting together for Launch Your Box that you will hear about soon. And so there's a lot of things happening for that right now. I've got my manager at the blow dry bar is on maternity leave, so I'm having to step in there a little more than I'd like to. And so there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And then I'm caught in the middle of into basketball season, middle of soccer season, and my daughter plays both of those varsity sports. So I'm here. Let's just acknowledge that even in these moments, we still show up, right? Let's just acknowledge that. I've been feeling a little in the weeds with all the businesses the last few weeks, but it doesn't prevent me from getting up and showing up like I do every Monday morning. And so I'm going to give myself a little pat on the shoulder here because sometimes that feels hard, right? Like sometimes it feels hard when you're overwhelmed and you're not sure what to tackle in this moment. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're not sure what to do next. And if you're like me, sometimes it just shuts me down, right? Like I just shut down. I want to ignore all life responsibilities. I want to watch TV. I want to read a book. I want to do anything but all the big, hairy things that I have to do in my business, right? And so I was thinking about all of that this morning. I was drinking some coffee and I thought, I think we need to talk about that today because I know that I feel it and I don't like being in this feeling right that I'm in right now, and I'm hoping that I work through that. I'm going on vacation. I leave for vacation Wednesday. I think that's also a little adds to the stress because I'm trying to get all the things done before I leave. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes vacations are like this love-hate relationship I have. We have to work really hard to go on the vacation. By the time we're on vacation, it's exhausting. But I thought, let's talk about when we get in a space where we feel overwhelmed, we feel in the weeds with our business. Let's just make this as simple as possible for us. And so I thought, let's focus on 3 things this week. If you're feeling the way I'm feeling, we can just focus on 3 things. And if you make yourself a little checklist today, Jamie says, I did not want to get out of bed this morning. Same, girl, same. These 3 things are going to help you get out of bed. They're going to help you know what to do next. They're going to help you move your business forward this week when you're feeling uncertain, overwhelmed, in the weeds. Okay. So let's just start with the first one. Good morning. First of all, good morning. I didn't even acknowledge that y'all are here. Good morning. This is how my brain is like skipping over the things. Here's the other thing. My husband has been gone since Wednesday, and I feel like he keeps me in check. He regulates my emotions. Do you know what I mean? Like he keeps me calm. And I was talking to him this morning on the way to work, and I said, I got a question for you. He's like, what? And I was like, do you just walk behind me and turn lights off? Because I turn every light on in the house, and I don't seem to turn any of them off. And I don't ever see that problem when you're there. He goes, I got you. And I don't even need to make you feel bad about it. Like I just go behind you and turn the lights off. I'm like, why are all the lights on? And I'm realizing I do this all the time. And he just turns them off for me. He just does things for me that kind of regulates my emotions. And he doesn't have to like say, I've turned off the 200th light this week. Can you turn the lights off? He never would say that to me. He just goes behind me and turns them off quietly. And I just appreciate that. I just appreciate that more than he will know. And maybe that's also why I'm feeling in the weeds, because he's not here to regulate my emotions this week. And so, babe, I'm gonna need you to come home soon so that I can stop feeling this way. But good morning to everybody. Good morning, Tracy. Hey, Tamara. Hi, Rebecca. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, y'all. I'm glad you're here. Sue says it's role reversal. I'm the one. Sue, giving you a pat on the shoulders. Good job. Yeah. So, they are, Nikki, you're so right. That's why they're our better half. They just do things and don't make us feel like crap over them. Like if he would just gripe about how I'd never turn a light off, that would be, another issue, but he doesn't. So, okay, let's get down to business this morning. If you're a note taker, great session for you to just take some notes. It's going to help you kind of figure out, where do I start this week? What's going to move the needle in my business this week? And so let's start with number one, audience building. So we just need one audience building action. You don't have to do all the things. There's 3 important things that we need to do every single week. And number one, and it's number one for a reason, is we need an audience building action. So if you run out of an audience, or you're constantly selling to the same audience, you're going to run out of people to sell to. So this is so important. No matter where we're at in business, whether you're building an audience to launch to and you haven't launched yet, whether you have thousands of subscribers, or you're somewhere in between, every one of us needs to have an audience building action every single week. Okay. And so I want you to get out. I want you to do something different than what you've been doing. We're posting just a post, we're going live, we're doing the things. I want you to do something different this week that's an audience building action. What if you decided every day this week, I'm going to post a behind the scenes? It could be a video, it could be a post. It's something different. It's going to shake up the algorithm. Let's do something different this week. What if you share your why this week? Maybe you haven't done that in a while. Maybe you mention, if this feels like you or someone you know, tag them in the comments below. Let's get our story out there. Let's find people. Maybe you want to collaborate with another small business this week, sharing each other's audiences, doing something back and forth for each other. That's a great audience building action. Maybe this is the week that you go live, or maybe you add an extra live this week. If you always go live on Mondays, like me, maybe it's time I do a different live this week on a different day. Shake it up a little bit, do something different. I want you to think about what you can do this week and drop it in the comments. If you had one new audience building action this week, what would that be for you? I want to hear about it, because audience building feels slow. And it feels like, okay, I'm posting the things, I'm doing the things, I'm not getting much of a reaction. We need to shake it up and do something a little different. It feels fun, it feels fresh, it feels different, not only to you, but it's going to feel different to your audience. So in the chat, what's one thing you can do differently this week to build your audience? And it just has to be one thing. It doesn't have to be all the things. Okay. And so that's what I want you to think about. Just let your mind think about it. You're probably already thinking about the orders I got to ship, the email I got to send, all the things that you have to do today because it's Monday. But I want you to stop for just a moment and think about one thing that you can do to build your audience differently this week. One action. And I want you to share that in the chat. Teresa says, go live. Let's do it, Teresa. We've been thinking about it for a while. I know we have. Let's do it. Tracy said, I signed up for 3 different craft summits. That's going to be huge for you, Tracy. You're going to get out there in front of other people. Teresa says, share my why. It's time. We got to share that. Brandy says, I'm going to do trial reels on IG. We've been doing that. Sorry, my Voxer channel is going off. Excuse me, let me turn that off. We've been working on trial reels. We got to keep doing that. So that's fun. Teresa says, post on Facebook on the business page. I haven't done it at all. Teresa, what's going on? Let's go post on the business page. Okay, so I want you to think one thing you can do differently to build your audience this week. We need it. We all need it no matter what stage we're at. If we're in the building stage, if we're in the scaling stage, we need to continue to build our audience. Okay, now, number 2. We need one revenue driving action. And you're like, Sarah, I try to drive revenue all the time. Yes, but we need it to be different. So what can we do differently this week? A lot of entrepreneurs love to show up and share things, but they avoid asking for the sale. And sometimes that's all we have to do is ask for the sale. And I know it sounds really almost dumbed down or too simple, but we really need to ask for the sale. Okay. So when you think about what revenue driving activity that you could do this week that's different, I want you to think about, let's create a bundle offer, something new and fresh. Let's post a limited time only product. And it might be something that you make as you go. Let's do a 48-hour flash sale this week. Let's send an email to all our past subscribers this week. What revenue driving action, and I'm thinking something that directly creates a sale. I want you to do that. Maybe it's a text that says, buy this. Like we avoid that so much as creatives. We just, hey, check this out. No, I need you to buy this. It's limited time. Create the urgency, create the scarcity, limited time only, this week only, spring break special, whatever you want to do. Let's create some action that creates a sale. And the goal is that we tell them to buy. Okay. I'm going to do a sale on Friday. So we're liquidating our warehouse right now. We're moving to a fulfillment center. So we're in this rolling percentages off. So right now we're in the 40% off stage. Everything in the warehouse is 40% off. So I said, okay, that's cool. It's not moving the needle as much as I thought it would. Let's shake it up a little bit this week. It's my birthday on Friday. And so it's Friday the 13th. It's also my 48th birthday. And so I said, let's do a little promo for 48 hours. That's $13 off any order $48 or more, because it's Friday the 13th, my 48th birthday. And so we're going to run that Friday and Saturday. It's something different. It's something fun. It's going to be me in a birthday hat. Like we've got to think about things that we can do differently to shake up the algorithm and shake up the norm of what we're doing. It gets seen. So think about one revenue driving action that creates sales. Let me know in the chat. Okay. Let me know in the chat what that is. I see Tamara says, I started doing 31 days of painting tips on Reels and TikTok for the entire month of March. It's giving me a lot of great momentum. Call to action is to opt in. Already up 3,000 followers on Facebook. That's amazing, Tamara. And it's only what, the 9th? And you're up 3,000 followers. I love this. And I want you to just take this, and how can you apply this to your own business? What little short video could you run could you create every day to really gain momentum in your business? And she's getting opt-ins. So she's getting opt-ins on her email list. So I love that, Tamara. Thank you, Sue. Okay. Okay. And Tamara also says the first video in the series is what's driving the followers. I'm going to have to go look at it. I'm going to have to go check it out, Tamara. Okay, now number 3. So give me your revenue driving action this week. What can you do differently? A bundle, a limited time product, 48-hour promo, email to past subscribers. Like, what can you do this week to shake up things and generate some sales that is directly asking for the sales? Let me know in the chat. Let's talk about number 3. Number 3 kind of gets left out a little bit. hang on, I need a drink for this. It's straight coffee. There's nothing else in it, I promise. Number 3 is subscription box curation action. And I think this is the piece that helps you build a better business, build a better box, and creates better retention. And sometimes we put this on the back burner because other things are on fire. I need sales. I need to get my orders out. I need to do this. I need to do this. And so we put this curation on the back burner. And a lot of times we do it when we don't have the highest energy. And so when I'm talking about a subscription box curation action, I'm talking about maybe it's time to research a new product vendor. Maybe we need to confirm where we're at in the months for the rest of this year. Maybe it's time to sit down and curate the next theme. And, like right now, I'm kind of stuck on August. We have everything curated through most of the year. I'm stuck on August and December right now. I have pretty much everything else. And so it would benefit me greatly to really sit down and take some time, whether that's 30 minutes or an hour, and lock those 2 themes in for August and December so that we can move forward with getting stuff manufactured and things like that. And so I think that I put that off because in my mind, I think that's August and that's not the immediate fire that I need to put out this week. But if I don't, and then it's April and then it's May and I still haven't dealt with that, I'm going to be in crunch time and then I'm going to make panic decisions, sloppy buying, not the best curation. So what can you do to kind of get ahead of that? Maybe it's reaching out to a new brand. Maybe it's improving your packaging or inserts. Maybe it's doing the 6 and 60 this week and laying out 6 months of boxes for wherever you're at in your curation process. But taking some curation action on your subscription box this week is going to go a long way. And then it's not rushed. So if I think of like the 3 things that I need to do every single week, this is what I think about. Every week I need to find a new way to build my audience. Every week I need to be audience building. So when I wake up every week on my to-do list every week is what can I do to build my audience this week? What can I do to drive sales this week? And what can I do to further along my subscription curation? That's it. And when you get in the weeds of life and you get in the weeds of business and things feel heavy and things feel overwhelming, I want you to go back and think about these simple things every single week. Grow your audience, generate revenue, improve your subscription box. And when you do that, your business is going to continue to move forward. And all these things we're tripped up on. Let me tell you, I got tripped up on my new software platform this week, all week long. Got it figured out on Saturday, finally. I just had to like stop and reset. But I want you to think about those simple things that are going to help you move the needle in your business. And all this other noise that we tell ourselves we have to be doing is not necessary. I need you to take action. And when we take action and we have a win, whether that be small, like Tamara, that's not even small. Tamara has 3,000 new Facebook followers and she's just done 9 videos for the month. Like that builds confidence. It also builds momentum because now this is a win for her. It's built confidence to move on to the next thing, to keep building, to keep figuring out what's working. And when we can take action, build confidence, and then we take a bigger action and it builds bigger confidence. I call this the confidence loop. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to take action this week, and you can do it with those 3 simple things. All right. I'm going to get my work done today so I can go on vacation later this week. But I just want you to have a great week. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you soon.